Hey folks, welcome back to our regularly scheduled program out here in Nebraska. We hope you didn't get too bored with our California videos from being out there. But we've been trying to catch up since we had got back a couple weeks ago. And we're doing some stuff out here on the farm, so stick around, we'll show you what we're doing. We got Kelly, she's resurfacing the driveway here. You can see the rain that we finally got, thank the Lord, has done some greenery sprouting up into the driveway. But really greened the lawn up real nice, so we're real happy we got that moisture. Now what I'm doing is we have our tree order from the local USDA Department of Agriculture office, so I'm going to be potting these trees today. So every fall, people here in our area, in our region, we get a flyer from the USDA, the local, the tree people, I guess we call them, and they offer you trees that you can plant here in Nebraska. Many different varieties. They send you like an order form that you can order. Many species. The minimum order for each species is 25 trees, and they charge $1 a tree. So it's a sweet deal, and we buy them to reinforce our shelter belt. We have a lot of deciduous trees in our shelter belt that drop the leaves in the winter, and I want to do some more evergreens. And if you saw last year's video, we planted some Colorado blue spruce. So I plan on every year buying about 25 trees. I think next year we're going to do some trees that maybe give us some fall color. But this year we ordered some eastern red cedar. Now, it's kind of a controversial tree here in Nebraska because all of the grassland farmers that have cattle are constantly trying to battle to keep these trees out of their pasture. And they have to pay people to come cut them, burn them, or whatever. But I'm going to plant them here. Kelly's doing a fantastic job with the driveway. He's becoming a pretty skilled operator with our little John Deere 3038E. He loves the hydrostatic drive. Much easier to drive if you're not used to a stick shift tractor. She's using our landscape rake, so it just kind of brings the gravel back up to the top, and it breaks loose all those little seedlings that are starting to sprout. It's not going to get all of them. There's a couple that'll slip through the cracks, but we'll wait a couple weeks and we'll do this again. It'll eventually get all of them. And as we drive on the driveway with this good moisture, it'll start packing this stuff back in. So we've got a few trees planted here. And the reason I'm potting them this year instead of going direct in the ground, I want them to develop a real nice root ball, real good root system before I transplant them. Even though that you can't hardly kill these trees. They spread pretty prolifically on their own. And like I said, they're kind of a nuisance tree here in Nebraska. But I want a very hardy tree, and that's what these are. I don't want to deal with having to keep replanting trees, and these will last a good long time with very little care, because I don't know if they're native here in Nebraska, but they grow very well here. They send your bundle of trees out in some wet wood chips, and they keep them in a cooler. We went downtown and picked them up in our local town here. There's a USDA cooperative kind of office here in town. And these were grown and started in Halsey, Nebraska, up there at their big greenhouse operation. We've just pre-moistened all of our potting soil so they'll stay nice and wet. And then we're going to put these over by the greenhouse where we can water them whenever we water our lick tubs and stuff back there. Kelly did an amazing job out here. Quite the little homestead girl. She had never driven really a tractor before she met me. And we had an old tractor, an old Ferguson tractor that was with a clutch. She wasn't real hip on that, but she loved this little tractor. She's doing a great job. Driveway looks so much better. And I got all of our trees planted. Got some more out back. So we ended up with 26 trees. They gave us one extra. And don't worry about those red tops. They're not like dying or anything. That's a characteristic of these trees. Sometimes in the winter, like this tree here on the corner behind the one that's flowering here is a eastern red cedar. And this winter it was like reddish brown. Most people would have thought it was dead, but they bounce right back once they get a little water and look really good. Great job on the driveway, babes.
Thank you.
So if there was a couple out there wanting to get a tractor, their first tractor, would you recommend like the hydrostatic transmission that we got rather than like using the clutch and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's much easier.
Yeah, pretty simple, huh? It's the way to go, really. So let's give you an update on the chickens. 2 weeks makes a big difference on them. Look at these girls. We can no longer call them babies, can we? They're real outgoing now and out here using the whole coop. One of the barred rocks is up on the tree. They're climbing the trees now. We think one of the lavenders is a rooster. That one there. What's the name on that one, babe?
That one's Cat.
Cat. So we might have to name him something else.
It's Kit Kat. He can stay Cat.
Kitten Cat. Well, I guess there was a cat, male cat in history. Cat Williams was a male.
Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens, yeah. Was Cat Stevens the one that didn't want to go by Cat Stevens anymore? I think he's Muslim or something. I don't know, I can't remember. Hi, Brandy. Did you miss me? Yeah? But big difference in these girls. They're huge. We got grass growing up through the predator mat, which is good. That'll hold it down real nicely. Kelly still wants to mulch some of it and plant some more stuff. Our next project is getting out in this garden and cleaning this last year's garden out of there. The moisture is going to be really nice for tilling all that in. And we got to do a lot more weed spray. So let me give you a little update on what happened on our trip back from California. So as we were driving back from California, we were going through Wyoming, and Wyoming DOT was doing some work on the highway, as happens a lot on I-80 if you're familiar with that interstate. So we were going along, had a pretty good clip, and sign says left lane ends. So okay, I'm in the middle lane, so I'm fine, don't have to worry about it. So they got the big orange barrel size barricade marker things out on the highway. If you've ever seen those, they're literally a barrel. And the left lane closes, we're going along, and all of a sudden the middle lane closes very abruptly within about, I would say, 1/8 of a mile. My lane closed, and beside me in the right lane was a solid stream of cars and semi-trucks. So I had no place to go. So I put the binders on, couldn't get stopped in time to get merged back over into traffic. So the left-hand side of the trailer I was pulling starts hucking these barrels off the freeway. So I'm like, oh man. So that's what highway barrels will do to a fender. So this fender was throwing barrels off of the highway, and then one of them eventually hit here in the front. I thought this was dented, but this is just rubber marks from the rubber on the bottom of the barrel. And this is pretty much cosmetic. I can tap all that around and put it back together. But while that was going on, a big rig came down the right side of us, and the tailboard of the big rig hit this fender here and ripped it forward. It caught it up around this area up here. Luckily it wasn't down low in the tire, because it probably would have blew the tire if it came through the tire. But it ripped it right up through here and took it apart. And let me show you what else happened. So the next thing that happened was the big rig came right down the side of my truck and ripped my right hand mirror off of my brand new truck. But I was very fortunate that I didn't peel this sheet metal all the way down, because it was real close to that. Another inch or so, I think I would have lost this whole side of the truck. And my mom was sitting right here, my 72-year-old mom. So I had to stop at a truck stop, and I bought a side mirror, little convex mirror, and I monkey rigged it to what was left of the mirror. This mirror was actually, the part that was still here was bent clear back around here. I got a little scuff damage right there, was about it. But we could have peeled the whole side off of this truck if I hadn't drove any steadier down the middle of that mess. So we are going to call it a day. Been a long day. I was in town doing something most of the day. Kelly was here working on the farm, but got the driveway done and some other stuff. So we're going to continue to catch up here on the homestead. Spring is springing, and we got to get ready for it. So till next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. We'll see you back on Mark Kelly Farm. Bye bye.